Hey, let's put in the spotlight Devin Vassell. And should the Spurs be considered West contenders?
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Happy Friday. Welcome back to Locked On Spurs right here on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you all back. Hope you're having a great day, end of the week. So get ready for that weekend. It's right around the corner. Hey, what are we talking about today? You see on your screen, we're going to be putting into the spotlight Devin Vassell. How has he been playing so far to start the season? Is he accepting kind of, I want to say a lesser role, but more of a fit? Is he fitting in better this season? All that and more. Throw some numbers at you. And then Draymond Green listed his West contenders, and he did not mention your silver and black. We're going to react to that in just a few minutes. Hey, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. You want to go check out FanDuel right now because new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. It's going to bring in our guest because he is a very, very busy man holding things together at San Antonio Sports Star. He is back, everybody, to wrap up the week right here on Locked On Spurs. Mr. James Pledger, who I'm assuming is very, very cold right now. He has a hoodie on. He has a jacket on. He has a knit cap on. I guess you need to stay warm, Pledger.
This is, I love this weather.
I do too.
Fall, you finally get to dust off that side of the closet that you've been wanting to wear. Fall clothes are just the best.
Yeah, they are. I wear a hoodie year round, so I know. Yeah, you do too. You and I are like that. We wear hoodies no matter what. It could be 100 degrees. I'm throwing the hoodie on. It don't matter. I'm throwing it on. Hey, make sure to check him out on X at I Am Pledger. He is part of the San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 on your radio, or the best bet. Just go to YouTube, search San Antonio Sports Star. That's probably your best bet. He'll brag about all the shows in just a few minutes. Hey, Pledger, I know you're short on time. You're clearly at work, so let's not hold you back any longer here. Devin Vassell, to start the season playing very, very good. And I brought you on for this topic because you have been, I want to say a harsh critic, but you've been a critic about how he fits into this roster. Is he better off on the bench? Is he better off elsewhere? But so far this season, he's a very good complementary piece to Victor Wembanyama. We'll get into some numbers, but just what does the eye test tell you so far about Devin?
Yeah, I will tell you this. I have probably been one of the harshest critics of Devin Vassell. Okay.
You have been.
I love what I'm seeing out of him so far, at least early in the season. It's been extremely pleasant to watch. He is fitting in. It looks like it is clicking for him on what his role needs to be within this offense. Right. And I've been a proponent of moving him to the bench so that he can do what he does. But in this role, he looks fantastic.
He does.
He is taking his role on. He is asserting himself on defense, which has been an issue in the past. And he is not volume shooting. He is taking what comes to him in the flow of the offense.
Right.
And that may be from behind the perimeter. It could be driving. It's whatever the offense calls for and being able to move the ball to the next best spot if needed. And I think that is growth with him as a player, as a schematic fit, as just knowing where he is. And at times when he does need to take over. And I think that is a very mature or maturing of a player within a system. And maybe part of that has to do with Mitch Johnson.
Right.
Maybe part of that is he has defined his role better from last year to this year. And now that he has full authority on the roster, which he didn't have last year.
Right.
Now a full offseason, Mitch, hey, this is what you're going to be. You are going to be a starter, but you're going to be like the fourth option.
Right.
And then you need to understand this offense runs through Vic. It will be initiated through Fox. And we are playing good to better, better to best.
Mhm.
It's looking a lot like 2014.
No, it is.
Ball movement and the way that now it's not apples to apples, obviously.
Right.
But it looks aesthetically pleasing with the ball movement they have. And the shot selection they are taking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what I like about Devin, too, is that he's playing with whatever the offense gives him, whether how you mentioned, being that option, if Vic's not available, if Castle's not there, okay, then we go to Devin, and he plays within that. He's not forcing anything. He'll get the ball, he'll look for his shot, and if it's there, good. And if it's not, pass it up. And he's putting up really good numbers, double figure scoring. He's getting national attention. Or to talk about the Spurs' hot start, sure, they focus on Wemby, rightfully so, but you'll hear his name thrown out there like, oh, yeah, by the way, they got some dogs on the roster, and they'll usually name Devin Vassell. What I like about Devin, too, and you hit it on the head. You kind of looked at my notes here. Maturity. I think that's what we're seeing.
Did
here.
you Did I get to look at this?
Yeah. and you look at just how he talks, too. What does he say? He goes, we have a younger guys. We're, those young guys. It feels like the fact that he's one of the most seasoned, tenured Spur on the roster. I think he's the second most along this year.
Devin.
Yeah. Behind Keldon. Yeah. That he's accepted that. And what I like about it too, I think he understands that this team is probably special. This is probably the best team they've assembled around Victor. And he's a big part of that too. And here's the thing, James, what do you think about this? Even though he's not the first and he'll likely not be the second, he'll likely not be the third option. You mentioned he might be the fourth at best, but he's still putting up good numbers. What do you think about that?
It's a product of the offense that they're running and the commitment to it. Wemby doesn't have to be the volume scorer.
Right.
He's okay deferring, passing out of the double team, especially with his size, just being able to look over the oncoming double team and make the skip pass to the other side. And here's the thing I've seen about Devin more than anything. Even though he's got a shot, and it's a good shot, he doesn't always take it anymore. If there is a better shot in the corner because the rotation's coming towards him, he will make that pass now. Where in previous seasons, I'm not sure he would have. And I think that's a big part of the growth and development of Devin Vassell and his game and how it looks this year. And knowing that I may get 25 one night, but I also may get 11 another.
Yeah.
And it's the flow of the offense and it runs through Victor, obviously. But everything else is going to be opened up for everyone else.
So awesome, in fact, that the numbers prove it. Let's look at that. Coming up next, look at some of the stats. Let's throw some numbers at you for your number junkies out there. How has Devin been producing on the court? That and more right here on Locked On Spurs. It's about Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day, locking in on every opening, betting your PR, betting again, channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. You now can build and execute your own trade from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. Let's talk about DoorDash. The NBA season is heating up, and DoorDash has found a perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're watching for the highlights, your fantasy team, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. We're talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, the stuff you actually want. For example, you love that it's just not food. You can get everything from snacks to drinks, headphones, ice, even socks, all delivered. DoorDash has you covered for late night highlights, last minute watch parties, and double OT fuel ups. Next time someone goes for 50, use promo code NBA50 the next day and get 50% off your DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the drop bag. Hey, Dash Pass members can only use this. 50% off up to $10 a day after a 50-point game with promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. We're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Mr. James Pledger, rounding this out here for this week on Locked On Spurs. He is with San Antonio Sports Star. Follow him on X at I am Pledger. We're talking about Devin Vassell, put him in the spotlight and his solid play to start the season. And he's a big reason why the Spurs, as of this recording, are undefeated. They played in Miami last night, but we recorded this before that game, so keep that in mind. All right, Pledger, let's look at some of the numbers here. And according to Synergy Sports here, overall, when it comes to shooting, and he's the type of shots that he takes, whether field goals, jump shots, catch and shoots, good numbers here, good numbers. In the jump shot, we're not too surprised by that. He's still a very good jump shooter. He's averaging about, got it right here, about 1.1 points per catch or jump shot, and 49 total points in jump shots, and he's rated as a very good jump shooter. When he's unguarded, forget about it. Just forget about it. Unguarded catch and shoot shots. So if nobody's around him, James, he's scoring 94% of the time. He's averaging nearly 2 points per unguarded catch and shoot. That puts him in the 94th percentile, according to Synergy. And I bring up shooting is because what did we talk about heading to the season? Where are the shooters? Where are the shooters for the Spurs? Okay, sure. Maybe Devin's not a three-point sniper. He's not a Luke Kennard or whatnot, some of the better three, but he's creating some space for Wemby and the rest of the guards to operate. Your thoughts?
Yeah. And what have we talked about when it comes to shooting floor spacing over and over? You don't have to be 45% from behind the arc and a knockdown, half of your shots are going in. But what you need to do is you need to shoot over 36%. Yeah, over 36% from three. Just to give the threat. And I think that's what we're getting because we're getting a lot of uncontested shots. People are getting good looks, and we're starting to see those shots fall. And Devin Vassell is a big beneficiary of the ball.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Now, let's switch it up a bit and talk about how he's been playing in transition. Now, I think the early book on the Spurs is this team's going to want to run on you. They grab the ball, they're going. Can you imagine when Fox gets back? That's going to be insane. But as far as Devin Vassell in transition, Pledger, Synergy Sports rates him as an excellent transition player, ranking in the 95th percentile. Again, he's averaging about 2 points per transition play. And so far, he scored 27 points in transition. So whether he's on the perimeter, maybe not a three-point threat, but somewhere inside that three-point line, he's going to knock down that shot. And if they're off and running, he's going to score. He's an excellent transition player.
And we've known this about him, right?
We know this about him, but it feels like
that
it just feels like we're seeing it maximized now.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. But on the other side of the court, defensively, what are you seeing?
Defensively, I'm seeing a guy who's committing. A guy that is really making his effort on that side of the ball known. And there's been a commitment. And it's not just Devin. It's across the roster. And I think bringing in guys like Luke Cornett and, the additions that they've made this offseason, along with remember, they brought in Sean Sweeney from Dallas.
Right.
And that was kind of his calling card. He was a defensive coach, and that's who Mitch brought in to kind of be his second on the bench. And we're starting to see the benefits of what Sean Sweeney and Mitch Johnson and their commitment to that side of the ball kind of flourish with this Spurs defense. And what were we saying in years past? Victor Wembanyama, they're one of the top 5 defensive teams in the league with him on the floor. They are a bottom 5 defensive roster with him off the floor. And now we're starting to see the commitment from the other guys around Victor. And maybe part of it's kind of learning to play with him because he is such an eraser. But now having a guy when Victor's off the floor like Luke Cornett to be able to step in that situation to kind of also help anchor on the back end, I think has only helped. And of course, you've got guys like Stephon Castle who have a commitment to that side of the ball in their background. And you see the effort that he gives. And then you've got a veteran like Harrison Barnes and his ability to help echo things like that. I think these are all pieces that have come together in the perfect storm to help kind of reinforce this is an important part of what we want to do. This needs to be our identity. What was it in that first game against the Mavericks that we heard in that timeout? Embrace the mundane. Well, you don't get more mundane than defense because it's the same thing over and over again, that a lot of effort and output for let's face it, in the NBA, it's about scoring. It's about how many points get. So, like, you're embracing the mundane part of the game in terms of the actual praise that you get on that side of the ball as a player. And they have embraced it, and it's showing because they are one of the better defensive teams. They are actually one of the best defensive teams in terms of points allowed this season so far. Now, part of that competition, you look at the competition they've played so far to this point, but it starts somewhere. And if you can embrace this mentality night in, night out, it's going to prove itself over 82 games.
And nobody should be surprised that Devin and the rest of the crew are playing great defense, because what do we hear in media day? What was the one word we kept on hearing pop up over and over? Defense, commitment to defense. We're going to win on defense. Victor Wembanyama even said, hey, you know, that is a non-negotiable. Defense must be played. So you're seeing it not only just with Devin, but the rest of the crew. And the numbers, like they say, they don't lie. The Spurs rank as one of the best defensive teams this year. Just quickly, as far as the numbers are concerned, according to Synergy Sports, they have Devin Vassell rated as a very good defender, holding his man or whatever, you know, on defense, holding players to under 1 point per possession of at 0.7. So I think the whole scheme, and of course, having the human eraser behind you, you can maybe gamble a little bit, try some things, you know, maybe throw, maybe go for a steal. You know, you're okay. You're safe. Now, the Spurs and, you know, Wemby's teammates said, no, obviously we don't want to rely on that, but it's just nice to know you got that. But overall, James,
and I think part of that too is learning, hey, Victor's on the court. I can take these chances because he's there. I can't take these same chances when he's not on the court. Even though Luke Cornett's a very good defender and he helps to make up for things, I can't take the same chances when he's off the floor, because I think that was kind of the problem in previous years with Victor. He's so good, you're able to take these chances, but you don't break the habit of taking those chances when he's not on the floor, and then you become one of the worst defensive teams when he's not on the floor.
I remember last year, man, the moment he left that court, holy smokes, man. Did he even play defense? I mean, it was just matador defense the rest of the night when he was gone. And then when he was out for the rest of the season, whoo, it was painful. But this season, the Spurs are getting it done offensively and defensively. And a big key is Devin Vassell. So far, I've been liking the way he's been playing, hitting his shots, attacking, playing within his role, playing within the system, just doing it all. And I think now he's really embracing that he's the big brother on the roster. Man, you could see it. You could definitely.
And as a guy who's been one of his loudest advocate or critics,
he
is a revelation this year.
Yeah. You're still okay with him in the starting unit? Because remember, prior to the season when you came on here, you were mentioning he needs to come off the bench. But you're okay with him in the starting unit? Yeah.
To accept his role the way he's doing and know that the shot selection is the most important thing. Yeah, I'm okay with him starting. The question is, who's going to the bench when De'Aaron Fox comes in?
That is for a whole other episode right here on Locked On Spurs. He is James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Follow him on X at @IamPledger. When we get back, are the Spurs, or should they be considered West contenders? Draymond Green doesn't think so. Let's talk about that coming up in a few seconds. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of a game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into the same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps everything exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Hey, Spurs season is underway. Might as well jump on the action over at FanDuel. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first 5 bet wins. So, head to FanDuel.com. Sign up right now. Play your game at FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. During the break, Pledger was loving that Spider-Man dunk photo over there, weren't you, Pledger?
That was so cool, man. I was like, what is this?
I was saving it for you at the end here in the final segment to get your reaction there. That's actually was put together by a fan of Locked On Spurs. He submitted it. He said, hey, can you use this as a transition? I was like, yeah, go for it. So
I was like, is that a Miles Morales?
That was a Miles Morales doing the D Brown dunk, doing the no-look dunk with Rhino in the background smiling on. He is James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Follow my next at @IamPledger, and he's going to talk about 94.1 The Star in just a few seconds here. So in case y'all missed it, Draymond Green on his show, he gave his personal list of which teams in the West are West contenders. No surprise, Thunder are on there, Denver was on there. He's going to throw in the Warriors in there too, threw in the Lakers, but he did not mention the Spurs, despite the fact the Spurs, as of this recording, are undefeated. And as we mentioned, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. I mean, there's other stats they lead the league in. Pledger, buying or selling that maybe the Spurs should be considered West contenders, or is it too soon for this team?
I am excited. Okay. I'm going to preface this with I'm excited what I've seen and what I expect to see moving forward.
Okay.
Right? It does feel a little early to throw them into that mix, just in terms of the fact that this is a team that we're still kind of unsure of. We don't know what it's going to look like with De'Aaron Fox when he gets back, how those things are going to mesh. We don't know how they're going to perform against some of those elites of the Western Conference. How are they going to play against Denver? How are they going to play against Oklahoma City? How are they going to play against Houston? How are they going to play against Golden State, which looks like they're on a heater this year as well?
No, they are.
So I am okay because this is unknown what this is. And to this point, you have beaten up against teams that are either expected to be or, as of this recording, not very good,
right?
Judging by their records.
Right. Yeah, and you can throw a little extra in there.
I need to see you do it against one of those Western or multiple of those Western Conference elite teams, or those teams that are expected to be elite this coming season. I need to see it against that kind of competition. How do you do against Nikola Jokic and Murray and Cam Johnson? How do you do against Chet Holmgren, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the likes of the Oklahoma City Thunders? How do you do against Houston with Kevin Durant and Amen Thompson? And when they go with that big lineup, how do you match up against that big lineup? Although I think Oklahoma City and San Antonio are two of the few teams that I expect can match up against when Houston decides to go to that big lineup.
Yeah, and I understand why Draymond didn't add this team, because one, they're unproven. They're unproven. They don't know if they're going to be, like you mentioned, handle the big boys in the West. And two, despite the fact that they're 4-0, and that's great, taking care of business, they're beating teams they should beat, but they did let Brooklyn erase a 26-point lead. They did let the Raptors get within 10 or a little under 10 after building a 20-point lead.
Sure.
So a contending team would just squash a team and take them out of their misery. Now, granted, it's a game of runs. We get that. It happens. Look what happened to the Lakers and the Wolves a few days ago. I mean, Austin Reeves, just single-handedly came back against the Minnesota Timberwolves to beat them. It happens. But I think to be a West contender, you got to prove yourself. And so far, the Spurs are proving it. But yeah, you're right. I think it's still too early to lump them in there, because I think they need to be tested. They've been tested as far as beating teams they should be. Yeah.
Right?
Go ahead.
Like the erasing of these big leads. But this is an issue that they've had in previous years, right? And so with that, we're looking for steps forward. And part of that is they are holding on to these leads in a sense.
And that's good.
So that is a good thing. But I need to see it against a team like when Steph Curry gets hot, or when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just starts foul merchanting you in the paint and chipping away at this lead. How do you stop those runs with players that are MVP caliber?
Yeah, exactly. And you can see right there too, Chet Holmgren, and the rest of their crew, OKC, there's still going to be a problem. Him and Shai, and the rest of those power teams in the West are going to prove a real true test. Now, yesterday, the Spurs did get a test versus Miami 3-1. Every time that guy, Coach Spoelstra's on the sidelines, he's going to get the best out of his team and give you business. So we'll see, hopefully by y'all time we're watching this, the Spurs got a W, but if not, in a way it's good.
A depleted Miami team.
Yeah, exactly. They're heading into last night's game, they were 3-1 and they dropped 144 points on their previous matchup. So we'll see. But other than that, look, a good start to the Spurs season. Thumbs up. Everybody should be excited. But we still need to see this team be tested their mettle against the best of the best. And that's on the horizon. He is James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Make sure to follow on X at I Am Pledger. I heard the Star is bringing the heat right now when it comes to all sports coverage.
Oh, yeah. We are, especially with the Spurs off to this hot start and what's going on with Props A and B and Project Marble. And it is white hot. I'm not even going to say red hot. It is white hot here, because you've got that. You've got the NFL in full midseason form. You've got the NFL trade deadline coming down the same day as the vote as Prop A and B. You've got the World Series going on. I mean, it is just a cornucopia. You've got the Aggies being undefeated and the only undefeated team in the SEC, and a top 3 team, and looking like they're going to be in a potential college football playoff. Like, all of these things have come together, and there's no better place to follow it all than right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Whether that's the morning huddle with Rob and AJ in the morning, the Blitz, which I produce with Jason and Joe in the afternoons, or even on my show at Extra Innings with Pledger from 6 to 7 every weekday. We've got you covered on everything that is going on in the world of sports, including your San Antonio Spurs.
And that's why you got to follow Pledger on X at I Am Pledger. Just go there. You see all the links to the Star. He gives the updates. He posts, the latest interviews, what is about, Project Marvel, or just any sport you could think of. He'll have it covered, and the rest of the team there at the Star. Pledger, thank you for wrapping up this week right here on Locked On Spurs with us. We appreciate it. Stay warm. I see that you are. Stay warm. And before we let you go, just one more time for you, because I know you love this. Here you go. One more time. You had
that is like a venomized Miles Morales over there in the corner.
Yeah, you saw it, right? Yeah, at the first I thought it was Carnage, but it's actually a venomized Miles Morales. Yeah.
See, I don't know if it's a venomized Miles Morales
or a venomized
Carnageized.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles Morales.
Either way, we have to end the show with the way James will probably like it, with a little bit of some MCU, Spider-Man, and Miles Morales doing the deep brown dunk. There you have it. Pleasure. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on Locked On Spurs. Everybody else, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. For your where we get podcasts, we'll be back next week as the season begins. Still, baby, still in its diapers, so a long way to go this season. Don't forget to check out the Locked On Spurs postcast hosted by Casey Vieira and former Spur Devin Brown. I may be off, but they're definitely going to be on, so check that out while I am away. So for James Pleasure, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.